What's good, y'all? It's the Demouchet REACT, and we're back with another video. Who we got today, C?
Today we're back with another American reaction. So excited about this video. If you're new to us
And we're new to you,
make sure you scroll down,
hit that subscribe button,
and turn on the post notification bell
because we're on the road to 200K.
And we cannot get there without you guys, all right? Join the family without further ado. Let's get into the video.
Let's get it.
This is one of my favorites to talk about. Because, you know, as an American, we grew up with this constant drumbeat of telling us about what a great country America is because it's so free and because we have all this freedom and so forth. This is the ultimate example of a misconception. You know, America is the land of the free. It's completely meaningless. I mean, ask an American, what do you even mean? What do you mean by freedom? What do you mean by the freedom that you have that other people don't have? It's like saying America is the best country because we have the color green. It doesn't make any sense. Okay, you may have health care in your country, you may have efficient public transportation in your country, but at least in America we have the color green.
Exactly. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Exactly. There are other countries who allow their students to go to school without paying for tuition.
Yeah, that is true.
There is no student loan debt.
Yeah.
That's free to me.
I feel like that's good news. I feel like that's good news that should be like spread in the newspaper. Like, you know, back in the day, they just throw the newspaper out on the lawn and you open on the newspaper and be like, oh, today in America this happened. But in the war aspects, this is what's happening across the world.
Right.
But I feel like in educational aspects, this is what's happening across the world. Free education.
Right.
Like, I feel like that should be pushed, but nobody want to be in the competitiveness with other locations because then they're going to lose out on their citizenship to want to go to another location. And it's just kind of like, you know, when you know more, you want more.
Right, and let's not even talk about the history of why college here is no longer free.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's a pew yourself in the foot type situation.
Let's not even talk about the history of why healthcare is no longer free.
Until it all starts to benefit one. Okay. Yeah, I get you.
Less freedom than any random villager in Indonesia or in Ghana or in any other part of the global south. What freedom are you even talking about? I mean, you're living, most Americans, the overwhelming majority of Americans, as we've been talking about when we were talking about the economy, and you can't separate the economy and the economic standard of living and quality of life of the people, you can't separate that from their freedom. Most Americans are living paycheck to paycheck. For most Americans, if they miss even one paycheck, they're going to be thrown out onto the street.
Yeah, so that's what he's basically talking about when he said you can't compare the two when it's the people and you compare them to freedom when they have to go to work, to live, to work. Yeah. So they can work more so they can live to work. Not to take a break or not to sleep. I was working with a guy one day and he told me that he would have to take like a month. He would use his PTO times, paid time off, or they got options where you can get paid to still be off of time if you collect it correctly. Right, but he would take a whole month off just to rest because he works so much. I am not lying. Yes. He was a cool guy, but he told me that, and I was like, I ain't thought about that. Because I'm so busy, I don't have time to think about that.
Right. Now listen, don't take us for those Americans who just hate their country. We don't hate our country. We love our country. We see a lot of places where we can just do better. Let's make things make sense. Because now they demonizing the people who went to college.
What's so crazy about it? Whenever you have people that want better, they look at them as the bad crowd because they're inciting change, change is not supposed to impact everybody to where they're now suffering. It's supposed to impact people to where it's more equal, where everyone has a chance. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that's not a lot of chances. That's more knocking on doors and rejections. But, you know,
Let's continue.
That's the reality. You don't have just one master in America in terms of your slavery. We were talking about debt slavery, wage slavery, and so on. Your employer is your master. Your student loan officer is your master. Your landlord is your master.
Not the landlord.
The credit card bureau is your master.
The landlord got a key. You don't know. Some landlords are like that. Them boys say you ain't paying for what I'm giving you this lifestyle to live for. You got your land, you got your house, which is something in my paperwork just kind of contracted it over to you. But I still got a key. Like, yeah, them boys got a key. They're gonna come in if you ain't paying your stuff.
Listen, that's why I clap for everybody who pays off their mortgage. That is an
big
accomplishment.
Body. Big steppers,
okay?
Huh? Mm-hmm.
Ooh, that's an accomplishment. And keep your land. No matter how hard
your
it is.
mortgage loan officer is your master, your insurance adjuster, your HMO, the IRS, your credit card company. They're all your masters. In America, you're a slave with many masters, and they all.
I have to say, AI coming up next.
Oh Lord.
AI is gonna be having everybody look. Voice automated. Now I ain't gonna even think too much about it. I'm just let AI figure it out for me.
AI ain't all bad though.
I'm hearing you, but look at all the umbrellas that we have been put under without even realizing we was being put under it because it benefited us in such a way or in such a time when we needed it. AI has popped out and now, I remember you making a comment saying that you rather not see kids with AI because they still need to open a book for themselves.
Right.
So imagine.
They need to learn.
Now we have vehicles where people are being driven around because AI. Voice automated with, you feel me? All right, okay.
Everything is pros and cons, everything.
I feel you though.
There are chains on you and they all have their own lash that they can use on your back.
Oh no.
So what freedom do you have? You have more laws in America and more regulations in America than any other country in the world. The average American's daily life is governed or influenced or restricted or in one way or another determined literally by tens of thousands of laws and regulations.
Oh, Lord.
Upwards of 50,000 to 100,000 rules at the municipal level, the state level, the federal level, not to mention the rules in your own company that you work for, whatever rules that your employer imposes upon you. This is like scaffolding around the daily routine and activities of the American people, of any average American citizen. Most of these rules actually only exist, no matter what they tell you. They'll tell you that these rules all exist to make the society better and to protect you and to make you safe and so on. But the truth of the matter is, and any American who's listening knows this to be true by your own experience, that these rules only exist for the purpose of generating revenue for the enforcing body of those rules through the imposition of fines and fees and so forth. That's the real purpose behind most of these. It's not health and safety and security and efficiency or what have you. It's just to make money off of you. And you have no say in America, in your great democratic country. You have no say in how any of that money is spent. Any of that money that they collect from you, that they oblige you to pay, you have no say in how any of that money is spent. You don't decide what...
Let me tell you something. Our very first year when we had to pay back.
Oh, Lord.
Baby, you ain't gonna miss us at a town hall meeting. Because what y'all doing? I don't even care if they talking about, say something, I don't know. If they talking about installing a pothole, I'm definitely...
Potholes.
I'm going to go drive around that pothole and come back with my analysis.
The new tires be adding up, bro.
Shoot.
The new tires be adding up.
That's when you really pay attention, when they start, when you no longer get a refund and you have to pay.
Yeah, but I do think though at the end of the day, like it's a mind game though. I hear, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's really a mental thing. Like it's all about how you are receiving the information and how you're going to generate it within yourself and how you're going to move strategically. If you don't move strategically, you're going to get slapped with every obstacle that comes because you're not prepared. You know what I'm saying? You have to be prepared out here. Right. It's that type of thing. It's a mind game.
Right, and that is birds behind us, y'all.
Them Adidas.
Yeah, so definitely pay attention in your civics class. Go take a civics class. In a lot of local little cities and towns and all of those places, even online, there are civics for you to just refresh your memory, okay, with how our laws work.
With anyone who collects that money, you have no say in what they do with that money. So I'm asking, what freedom do you have? What freedom do you have that's so special and so unique? None.
Oh, no.
Honestly, none. Zero.
Oh,
there are no freedoms that you have in the West, in America, that are not available elsewhere. And there is freedom elsewhere that you do not have in America. But they tell you all the time about how free you are, so that by implication, you will assume that every other country in the world is an oppressive tyranny and no one is able to do anything. And then, of course, you have the fact that the overwhelming majority of Americans never leave that country, so they don't even know what it's like in any other country. Western civilization, so-called civilization, never did actually believe in freedom as the highest value. That's the reality that they don't even want you to know about. They never did believe in freedom as the highest value. This is just something that they tell you. It's just part of the sales pitch to convince you about how wonderful your society is. I mean, if you go back to the alleged philosophical roots of Western so-called civilization, to ancient Greece, and so on, these philosophers that they always claim as their own, as their inspiration, Aristotle didn't believe in this. Plato didn't believe in this. The real foundation of Western belief has always been more authoritarian and classist than it was ever liberal and democratic. They always believed in order and the security of the status quo above liberty and freedom. Always. They always believed in power being held by the elite. If you've read these philosophers, you'll know that. And if you've read, whether you're talking about the Greek philosophers, the Enlightenment thinkers, or the so-called founding fathers, that's the...
Think he been around for a long time, or he did his research?
He been around. I see some grades, okay?
He been around for some time.
Lineage of thought behind the modern Western power structure. They just sell to the public this idea about freedom. Because anyone with any sense knows that you can't actually even base an organized society on liberty and the so-called sovereignty of the individual. Everyone who thinks about it for more than 5 seconds knows that. If your society was actually based on what you claim it was based on, well, that's a Ted Kaczynski mentality. How long would your society even last like that? The whole of America would be like the backwoods of Montana. But they don't even respect you enough. The government, the power structure, doesn't even respect the population enough to tell you that. To tell you that obviously you can't base a society on freedom and liberty. Instead, they have to tell you about how free you are, and they just gaslight you, feed into your fantasies because they think that you're like children. They treat you like children. They don't even want you to understand the real system that you live in. That's why they don't even educate people properly. That's why you can see these videos online where people are asking random Americans on the street basic questions, like name a country that starts with the letter B.
What is that?
And they say, you know, shoes.
Golly.
The level of idiocy that's being imposed upon the public is astronomical. You'll probably say the freedom to criticize the government, the freedom to protest.
Yeah, it's like an embarrassment at the same time because it will only be clips like that that would get surfaced and that would get pushed out, and then the world would look at us as dumb. And that's not true. We are educated. It's just the fact that the media has this way of getting certain clips to really be highlighted as a sticky note over your whole media platform, as if this is what it is that's going on around these parks. But that's not the facts.
I mean, I think that's a sticky. I don't want to go down that route. I was going to talk about how each state has its own educational curriculums and things
Even
like that.
that part is a conversation by itself. So it's like...
And it's like we all don't learn the same things.
At all.
You would think we would all learn the basics, but I have run into some Gen Zs who don't even know about the Louisiana Purchase.
Yeah.
Like, baby, we it wasn't always these 50 states.
Even some really popular historic names aren't even being talked about as much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And even me, who is an avid reader of all genres, I read everything. There are still some things that I'm teaching myself as an adult.
Yeah.
So
my take on it is that whether you are in America or not, I feel like because of how the media and the platforms have really evolved itself, there is nothing underneath the sun that you could not research and be informed about. So you can't really look at anyone and say that they may not know something. In reality, it's in their back pocket. It's in their back pocket already. All they got to do is Google it, do a little bit of research on it, and understand it for real, and then there you go.
Yeah, all
You're
it
up to
takes
speed.
Exactly, but all it takes is exposing them to what they don't know. They won't grow higher than they know.
Yeah.
So they need to be exposed so that they can be curious enough to go look for the stuff themselves.
Yeah, that is true.
You know?
See, I can go a little deeper than that.
You have to remain a student of life at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You have to.
But what if attention spans are being shortened because of how social media is set up?
Yeah, that's why children don't need.
Couple seconds on this, and
there
now they
needs
can't
to be
get
a
them.
limit.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but now
all
they
in.
can't get themselves deeply involved into actually learning a full course of something long enough because their attention span has been wired to say, I need a short version. I need a short version. I need a short version. Yeah. But I feel like it's in everybody's back pocket.
That can mess up your attention span because we was watching hour-long episodes. Remember Zoom? When we got off of school, Zoom was always on. Listen, Zoom was teaching us everything, okay? We was dancing. We was learning recipes. We was learning a lot. I feel like our generation was one of the last... I don't know. It's sticky. Our generation was one of the last generations where we were fully self-sufficient if we needed to be. If we was the latchkey kids where we went home by ourselves because our parents were working. Mm-hmm. And we had to do so much for ourselves. Yeah. But now we are the generation... We are Gen Z's parents. The later ones, Gen Z and Alpha.
Yeah, we gotta watch over them.
Yeah.
Only give you the freedom to protest in a democracy when they're not actually giving you democracy. I mean, think about it. Think that through. Why would you even need to go out in the streets and demand this or that if you have a democracy? If you have political institutional mechanisms for having your demands met, why should you protest? Why would you even need to do that? Because your government ignores you. That's why. So your freedom to protest, your freedom to criticize the government, just means that you have the freedom from being listened to. You have the freedom from being listened to. In fact, democracies have actually just perfected the exclusion of the population from policy-making decisions. They perfected it. The whole so-called democratic mechanism, the whole structure is actually designed to completely marginalize the population. So they've got you busy right now thinking about the election, thinking about who's going to win, and we have to vote for this or vote for that, or vote against this or vote against that. When real power is completely removed from that whole process.
Because take out the electoral college.
Completely distracted from where real power is because they've convinced you about how free you are and about how democratic your society is, which just actually, in real practical terms, means that you have no power whatsoever. You have no voice whatsoever. That's why it doesn't matter one bit when you go out and protest in the street. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter any more than you putting your vote in the ballot box. It is equally insignificant to what will happen in terms of policy. It begins from the misconception of thinking.
It's like your vote is like your dollar, right? Your voice is still your power. So when you don't have that involvement into something, for instance, like the people, he's saying that the people are kind of like powerless when it comes to protesting and whatnot. But again, I feel like your voice and how you silence yourself from the things that are seeking attention, you're debunking that. Same with the dollar. When you're silencing your dollar from being spun in that ching system, you're debunking that, right? And even with the votes, like, I feel like with the votes is a sticky topic because I feel like at the end of the day, what do you call that stuff? Like, no matter how many votes you have, the electoral college, they still have that last say so, which is odd as heck. Because what the people doing if they, what's the whole point if that's a catch?
Right. But that is why people need to vote in every single election, not just a presidential election. Because yes, I understand what he's saying. I understand how some people feel that their vote don't matter. I don't care. If it's there for me to do it, I'm going to do it. I'm going to continue to show up in each and every election. Each and every. That's not just for every 4 years. Look at your government websites to see when the next time you need to vote.
Because
vote on everything.
Pops up. Yeah.
Vote on everything. Make yourself knowledgeable on what you're voting for. Don't just show up on that day. Okay? Look at the sample ballots. Go on all of the websites of everyone who is running for office and vote for the things and the people that align with your interests.
Yeah, they're the people that's getting closer to what you're trying to actually get the other side to see you protest about or write these letters, millions of pages about all that stuff. So these people are going to be in more closer position or proximity to voice an opinion that they see the people are actually protesting or talking about on a regular basis, or silencing their dollar from, or not even wanting to keep going to the ballots and vote because they don't feel heard. So these people are going to be able to access a more power structure for you.
Right, and show up for your town hall meetings, show up for your school board meetings, show up for everything. Be the citizen that we were taught to be in school. Okay, when you was in the back eating bubblegum, playing on your phone when you shouldn't have been.
She ain't talking about me.
Okay.
You ain't talking about
And I am going to continue to show up in every democratic process that there is available to me. I'm going to reach out to the representatives and senators. I am going to do every single thing that I am allowed to do as a citizen. If it's there, I'm doing it. If it don't work, if society has set it up to where it don't work, oh well, I'm gonna do what don't work. the system that supposedly don't work, I'm still doing it.
I feel it. As staying active and engaging.
Staying active, cause you're gonna complain when it's not available.
Well, and that's the thing though. Okay,
you're gonna complain if. Ooh, I pray that this don't happen, but Lord, times are scary right now. But if they take voting away, that's when you're gonna complain. No, because there was a time when it was hard for my people to vote. So I'm gonna continue to show up.
Right, and that's a staircase to their success story right there. They actually went through a lot of different steps. That's a ladder for me. For them, they went through the ladder. They ain't on the staircase.
Me being a woman and me being black.
Yeah.
There was a time I would not have been able to vote. I don't know how I'm voting, but there you go.
In freedom and liberty and democracy and so forth. They never believed in that. And if you actually read as I say, the Greek philosophers, if you read the Enlightenment thinkers, if you read the Founding Fathers, they never believed in that for 1 minute. And so you actually have the system that they wanted you to have, that you have the system that they believed in, but you have a very, very different system than the one that you believe in, the one that you think you have. It's completely different, but it's the one that they always intended it to be, which is the power being held by the elite and the population being completely marginalized and disempowered.
All right, y'all, we're gonna stop right there, man. Hey, that was a lot. I feel like is this thing? No, it's not. Yeah, I feel like these conversations are at a times where I guess you could say they're cliche because I feel like it's known about. People are really having these talks. I feel like we're in a position to know this information. Right. Even if we're silent about talking about it, I feel like we are aware to the T already. So, yeah.
We've heard it so many times. We have heard it so many times, but there are some people who have not heard it.
Oh, yeah, 100%, yeah.
We are feeling a lot in what's going on now. So, my question to y'all is, what y'all gonna do about it?
Okay, and that was gonna be my question, right? What is the outcome to such a speech?
My thing is, I'm gonna continue to show up.
That's it. Stand on your block and do what your purpose is. Because everybody have a different voice, a different instrument. Use it.
Yeah, definitely. Even the little things that you think don't matter, like who you put in the seat for the water division A or B, that matter. That person needs to know what they do. Bruh,
because when your water bill come back high, and old boy or old girl come back in their truck and they doing their meter checks, and you hit them up and be like, oh, don't worry about that. I already know why. All right, yeah.
And if you in the area where y'all have a lot of mosquitoes and you didn't vote for the right person, the person who was going to make sure that they spraying for mosquitoes every single night, don't complain. You should have voted.
Them termites get bad too, though, see.
For real.
Ooh, them termites be getting bad.
Bruh. Okay.
I'm just saying.
All right, y'all. We hope you guys enjoyed this video with us. Be sure to subscribe. We'll see you soon.
Peace.